Undernight is a game that existed for roughly a decade now. Over the course of that decade, not only have new characters been added, but characters have undergone changes and evolutions that make them seem almost unrecognizable when compared to the current iterations. Today I want to go over 10 moves that have seen drastic changes, making them go from niche parts of a character's kit to a central part of the game plan. While I know I promised 10 moves centric to characters' toolkits, the first move I want to talk about is not one on a particular character, but the mechanic itself, Steer Ender. After making Lumina, Kamane wanted to add a mechanic similar to it in Undernight so that new players could get straight into fighting without having to learn dual combos. When the move was first shown, it really only seemed to have a good use case for ending combos consistently into Infinite Worth or CBO. The only character who made use of it initially was Chaos, as it gave him an easy way to trade grid for consistent perk setups. Kamane wanted to give this move a use for veteran players, so in the Isuki patch he buffed the Oki, which gave a large amount of characters a reason to end their combos and Steer Ender. Characters like Hilda, Lene, Akatsuki, Orie, Ragnar, Batista, and Macabre all begun using Steer Ender far more due to the Oki benefits. Move 2 is much more self-explanatory than some of the others. When Orie first released, despite her being closer to the Shoto archetype, she lacked a meterless reversal to go with her strong options and defensive tools. Up until Uni 2, her BDP was only used as a combo extender post-CS or going into SIVO for damage. Now that it's a proper reversal, Orie finally has received the trifecta of defensive tools, a good anti-air, a 5-frame mash, and a meterless reversal. Even though Orie's DP was a move without much use, it still objectively had a function. However, Enkidu's 2-B was considered almost completely dysfunctional upon its debut in ST. While we know this move is an easy plus frame option, in ST, this move was 0 on block, making it an easy match point for characters with 5-framers. It made little to no sense to even risk using such a slow move to be even on block. I know you're thinking, well, there's increased 2-B, so you could use a non-charge one to frame trap, but no, that's in addition to Clear. In Clear, the move saw great buffs going from 0 to +2, and the added increased version allowed him to abuse people who like the green shield. This next move was another one that saw little to no use across the versions, but unlike Enkidu, it had to wait an extra version to see significant buffs. Ragnar 214C is a lightning fast move with projectile involved. However, the reward for using it was just not worth the risk. A lot of the time, being wrong meant you get fully punished, whereas the reward was extremely mediocre for a damage queen like her, on top of the low hit stun making the combo inconsistent to get. In Uni 2, Kamane not only buffed the damage, but made the combo extremely easy and decided he'd go all the way, by making her +1 on block. 214C went from a move that hadn't got much use in 9 years to one of her most annoying neutral skips in one patch. Akatsuki J6C. This move was easily one of his more useless tools in previous versions. The lack of hit stun made it impossible to ever combo from, and its benefits on block could be easily replicated by delaying other air normals out of assault. In Uniclear, Kamane did not actually buff this move, but instead, he added a charge version of it, which became Akatsuki's new game plan entirely. When inputted quickly while rising, Akatsuki had access to a 21 frame overhead against majority of the cast, giving him a strong OS crush, neutral tool, and a defensive mash. This move terrorized people for the entirety of Clear and remained unchanged going into Uni 2. Akatsuki's uncharged J6C, however, saw a big buff in it, allowing players to substitute charged J6C in combos for JB J6C, giving him a new level of stability while sacrificing little to no damage. Aldum's force function remained about the same for every version of the game, and Kamane didn't seem to like that very much. In Uni 2, Kamane not only buffed the hit stun, giving her better combo potential, but he also added projectile clashing, making it a new way to deal with not only jumpers, but fireball characters. With the reward on hit, this move jumped from niche category to a strong tool on offense and in neutral. Similar to other moves on this list, Siri 214C was the short end of the stick when compared to his other EX tools. The combo is mediocre and annoying to hit, and the range of the grab isn't particularly big, so even if you could armor through something on reaction or CS flash, you were risking whiffing and getting punished. In a recent patch, Kamane saw the lack of use for this move and made it so that it would always crumple on hit, alleviating a lot of the previous issues of the move and making it one of his strongest combo enders. Phon's big Uni 2 addition was her install. The install enhanced her sound specials, giving him a large amount of block and hit stun on top of damage increases. However, Phon players were not initially impressed by this tool. It only lasted 8 seconds while also going away on hit. In the first major patch, Kamane fixed these issues, but it came at the cost of a huge meter penalty, again making those benefits almost not worth the cost. Kamane eventually got it all figured out, and now the install has become a crucial part of making Phon's offense and neutral as strong as it is. While I tried my hardest not to use the same character twice, I could not ignore what this tool has become after a decade of essentially only being a combo filler. In Uni 2, Kamani added the ability to special cancel Aldum 660 on block, unlocking new potential for what was a risky anti-air to hit overhead. Aldum 660 was always incredibly difficult to challenge and quick, but Uni 2 turned a notch on this move, making it unstoppable. After the long wait, Isuki finally debuted in Undernight, bringing items along with her. Fortunately, her item game was considered incredibly weak, and the poison bottle was the worst of them. Poison debuff could still grid. The Oki on item throw and the lack of hitboxes when throwing the bottle boiled it down to an item you have to get rid of to get to her stronger runs. In Overpatch, however, Kamani made huge rush to the recovery of items lost, giving her more consistent Oki and plus frames. But he wouldn't stop there, as he also made poison debuff do damage as it ticks over. With the base of 600 damage jumping all the way up to 800 in Vorpal, Izuki's damage when adding poison in the mix is no joke. This change alone jumped her poison bottle all the way up to the top, making it silent but deadly. And with that, we reached the end of the video. I know I didn't go too far back when looking for moves that have seen significant buffs, but if there are any that came to mind that was either buffed across versions or the last several batches, leave them in the comments below. I hate this chair.